So Bitcoin's becoming popular again, right on cue as well. It's going through another one of its cycles because Bitcoin acts in a very predictable cyclical way. This is my crypto portfolio. I've been investing in crypto continuously since 2017. And yes, that means I've been through every single incredibly harsh market correction in crypto since 2017. And I've kind of learned a few things because of that. So this is what I'm going to do in this video. I have a nice little checklist here. So we're going to first discuss what's going on with the crypto market. I'm going to give you guys my take, both short and long-term projections. And I'm also going to talk about how I actually realize profits. Because with crypto, I've been in the situation multiple times before that I've been rich on paper, and then the next week, not so much. Okay, so looking at the price action of Bitcoin right now, we are in a very exciting parabolic move right here, touching all-time highs. We got all the way up to about 60, almost 67,000 bucks per Bitcoin. And the reason behind this is the positive news of the new Bitcoin futures ETF. We also have some bullish comments from people like Paul Tudor Jones.
I said then, I said now, I've got crypto in single digits in my portfolio. I have a small trading position in our fund. I do think we're moving into an increasingly digitized world. Clearly, there's a place for crypto, and clearly it's winning the race against gold at the moment.
And I certainly don't mind this because my portfolio in the past month is up almost 50%. But if we zoom out to about 6 months, we can see just how bumpy of a ride crypto investing is. And if you plan on investing in this space, you have to be aware of this and have very high conviction in what you're buying. I mean, this violent price action shakes people out of their positions, and that's largely why the majority of people don't realize these amazing gains. All right, but focusing a bit more on the present price action, every time I see a parabolic move like this, it comes back down. And usually, the more intense the rally is, the more intense the correction is. We're actually beginning to see a small little pullback right here, and I hope this continues. I would love to see Bitcoin come down in price a little bit and bounce off of the $60,000 support level. Because if it can solidify this as support, I think that's very healthy price action for Bitcoin and puts it in a pretty healthy position to then go higher. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see that this $60,000 price range, aside from being just a big even number, historically it has acted as a level of resistance. So I really hope we have price action like this over the short term, coming down, making a solid support range around 60,000, and then moving higher. I think overall in the market right now, there's lots of bullish sentiment and positive news coming out, and that's why I think by the end of this year, it's not unreasonable to think that Bitcoin could be in the mid 70K range. Of course, anything could happen in the short term, but I do think that by the end of this year, Bitcoin is going to be more valuable than it is today. All right, so that's what's going on, and I explained what's happening in the short term. Now let me explain my long-term outlook with crypto. So crypto, I'm convinced, is a cyclical asset. It has these waves of adoption where the price goes parabolic, everybody gets excited, and then it cools off. But each one of these waves that come and go, they help to mature crypto as an asset class. And I personally believe in the expanding cycle theory, which sounds complicated, but all it means is that these cycles are lasting longer and longer, and the returns are becoming smaller and smaller. As the market cap goes up and the asset matures, the volatility is going to be decreasing. And that's the ultimate goal of Bitcoin. It's going to be a store of value. But until it gets to that $10 trillion market cap, it's going to be volatile, it's going to have growing pains, and that's exactly what we see here. But the Bitcoin of today is significantly different and way more mature and established and resilient than the Bitcoin of 2018. And because of that reduced risk, the returns in this cycle are definitely going to be smaller than the previous cycle. And speaking of cycles, this is my general prediction for this one. I think it's going to last well over 1,000 days and probably have total returns of around 1,500%. Now, if you compare that versus the previous cycle in 2018, this one was shorter, only 630 days roughly speaking, and it had returns of 4,400%. And if you want to go back even further to the 2013-2014 cycle, this one lasted only about 330 days and had returns of over 8,000%. So because of my belief of the expanding cycles and diminishing returns as the asset matures over time, I don't think this cycle is going to be done until the end of 2022, and the price might be somewhere around 150 per Bitcoin. I do not believe the price action is going to just continue to go up and to the right. I believe there's going to be at least 2 more very harsh market corrections between now and the ultimate end of the cycle. It's very possible that by the end of this year, the price of Bitcoin can be way too overinflated and have a very harsh correction that follows. But considering the current sentiment in the market, it might not be for a few months, and between now and then, I think we're definitely going to get into the $70,000 range. So when it comes to my crypto portfolio, I keep it here in BlockFi because they pay an interest rate. You can see right here, Bitcoin is 4.5%, Ethereum 5%. It does vary and change depending on the quantity of assets that you own, but I've been using them since about March of 2021, and they paid me over $1,000 in interest, and I like that. So considering the technical analysis I just showed you guys and my thought process both in the short and the long term, this is how I go about taking profits. Back in May, before the correction, I did take about $8,500 worth of profit right about here at 58.5K. And then during this pullback, I had diamond hands because I've been holding since 2017, so this was nothing for me. Now, I didn't add to my position because I'm way too overweight in crypto. I want to trim my position and continue to take profits. And so far, I haven't taken any more profit, but I do plan on taking it rather shortly. As I explained previously, I do expect the price point to come back down and establish a level of support before moving higher. I just think Bitcoin and crypto in general has lots of momentum right now and positive news behind it going into the holiday season of 2021. So if the price point does break into the $70,000 range, I'm going to lock in roughly $10,000 worth of profit on Bitcoin. And then I'm going to take all of my proceeds and invest it into my M1 Finance portfolio. This in comparison is a grown-up investment strategy. It's very diversified. I have a bunch of ETFs and I focus on some growth assets as well as income assets. So to me, this is what locking in profits looks like. But the reason why I'm only going to sell roughly $10,000 worth is because all of these data science models I look at indicate that we're kind of in the middle of this cycle. We're not at a good discount point, and we're also not at a very high valuation yet. This is a basic 2-year moving average, and again, comparing it to previous cycles, we're not yet overextended. This is the Pi cycle top indicator, and it's been pretty good at picking the market tops within a few days actually. And back in April, it actually did identify the top of the market, but this cycle is looking pretty similar to the cycle back in 2014, how there was kind of a double top. And I'm just not convinced that this is a great time to completely cash out. I think there's a lot more upside to have, but the time frame is longer than I think most people realize. And something I learned in crypto is that it's impossible to call the market top. So I'm going to be taking profits along the way. As I mentioned, I took profit at around 58,500. If we get up to about 71, 72K, I'll take some more profit. And if I can successfully do that and lower my exposure to crypto to a more responsible level, during the next pullback, when we inevitably get back down to the $40,000 price range, maybe even $30,000, that's when I will average back in to build up my position. So that's kind of my thoughts on crypto at the moment. As a long-term crypto investor, you have to have a long time frame kind of a mindset, be aware of the larger cycles at play, and you have to know when to take profits. And during the harsh market corrections, which inevitably happen with this investment, you have to be able to hold on to these if you want to have good returns in the market. Because that's the only way I found to be able to fully participate in the coming rallies. But that's just my 2 cents on the topic. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, if you want to see more content about crypto, let me know. I'm not going to become a crypto channel, but if you like the topic, let me know. If you're still watching and enjoy, give the video a like, subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. But I'll see you guys in the next one.